We'll do that again. Okay, so we'll do an official welcome to Sundays with Spirit. I am your host here, Angela Potts-Mang'andah, and we have an exciting lineup today. Our men's group is here, and one of our main musicians, Ted, is here as part of the men's group to be our musician, and I will be the host. And so I will start us off with a prayer. So just taking a nice deep breath. Relaxing into this precious, holy instant. So grateful to gather together with the intention of being truly helpful. Grateful to share from our hearts. Grateful to allow the flow of spirit through our conversation, our prayers, our music. So grateful to Jennifer Hadley, her willingness to follow her own guidance and create this beautiful ministry. And we bless her and all those who are in the Quantum Counseling Intensive today, blessing the good work they are doing, opening up further as teachers of God. And we are so grateful to all the men who are here to represent their group and share what brought them to the group and how the group is supporting them. We're grateful to hear from our community members. We're so grateful they will come out and take time to share with us today. And we're grateful to Ted for giving us his heart-inspired music. So we are intending to have open hearts, open minds, allowing ourselves to be a channel for inspiration and an upliftment here today. We allow that, and with deep gratitude, we go forward to share all the blessings with our brothers and sisters everywhere. So in gratitude, we are allowing the good. We receive it and claim it. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so to start us off, get us right in the heart and set the tone, we'll bring our brother Ted on to do our first song. So I don't even know if I was spotlighted there, but here we go. We're getting there. Ted is, and he's ready to go. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Angela, for hosting. It is quite an undertaking. I don't want you to think we take it for granted because I told Jennifer when the men were coming up, I said, I'm not hosting. I'm not going to do it because it does take, you really got to have it together. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm just gonna kick it off. This is an original song. Wrote it a number of years ago and keep adjusting it, but love it. Here you go. I am spirit. I am light. I am love. And we are one. Who can say for me what is perfect? Who can say for me what is right? Who can say for me what is granted? My world begins and ends with me. Yeah, I am the problem, I am the solution. I am the illness and I am the cure. I am the victim and I am to blame. Yes, and all that I am, and we are the same. Yes, all that we are, all that we are, in all that we are the same. So who can say for you what is wisdom? Who can say for you what is the truth? Who can say for you what is needed? For your world begins and ends with you. Yes, oh, we are the singers, we are the song. We are the right and we are the wrong. We are the victims and to blame. Yes, and all that we are the same. Yes, all that we are, all that we are, and all that we are the same. We are the Spirit. We are the light. We are the love. For we are one. Yes, we are the future and we are the past. We are the first, we are the last. We are the makers of all that we see. And for this world responsible are we. All that we are, all that we are, and all that we are will come to be. There you have it. Thanks, guys and girls.
Thank you, Ted. Beautiful. Thanks for relaxing us and reminding us of our oneness. Awesome job. Thank you so much. Okay, so here I get to bring on our crew. Okay, so it's going to take me just a moment to, I'm going to add some spotlights here and bring on those who make up our men's group. We are so excited to hear from our men's group. And I will say before I hand it over that this was one of the ideas I had, which is to start to highlight the groups in our community. So this is now the third kind of such group. We had Rich and Karen Carothers and their ACIM daily lesson group. We had one of our miracle circles come on and share about what their group has meant to them and how the group is supporting their awakening journey. So we're here to let our group kind of shine and then, one of the ideas we have is we're gonna hear from each person. You're gonna get to have a brief introduction, and then Rich is gonna give a bit of a background about the group. And then each of the group members here showcased is going to get to say how the group has impacted their journey. And then we'll open it up to questions to the community if anybody has a question. So I will begin by handing it off to Rich, correct? And I will exit stage, and I'll be moving people around a little just to keep the focus on the main speakers. But for now, it's an intro.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this day for quite a while, and we've all worked and talked together. It's been a wonderful experience in our working together to come up with this, to bring us together in even a more pronounced and loving way than we have in the past. Anyhow, my name is Rich Carothers. I live in Rhode Island. I spent most of my adult life in Oklahoma City, and I'll mention some things about that after a bit. And I've been with the ministry since 2012, so clear back to the beginning, I think. So anyhow, that's my introduction. I'll pass it on to Jorge. You can unmute, Jorge.
Can you hear me now? I'm Jorge. I am in San Juan, Puerto Rico, is where I live. I have been studying the course for a little over 30 years now. And during all that time, I have been in discussion groups in Puerto Rico and in the United States. So anyway, I'm glad to be here. I look forward to our discussion.
And you're going to pass it on to Steve. Oops. You can unmute, Steve.
Yes, I'm in Okeechobee, Florida, and it's nice and sunny down here, almost 90 degrees. Your weather's going to change up there north of us. But anyway, Okeechobee, I've been and involved with Jennifer probably 10 years anyway, at least. But anyway, it's great to be here, and I was looking forward to this. I'm happy to be here today, and I'll pass it on to someone else.
And pass it to Dean.
All right. Hi, my name is Dean Ashbacher. I live in Maricopa, Arizona. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, and migrated to. I lived in Arkansas for 6 years, and then I migrated to the DMV area in Maryland, and I lived there for 26 years. Before my wife decided she's going to get a job out here in Arizona. I said, "Oh, okay." So here I am, and I've been a student of John Monday's. Got introduced to the course, I guess, back in the '90s, and I came to Jennifer's ministry probably through some ad she put somewhere, and it's been great. Yeah, I guess I'll save anything else I have to say for later. Thank you.
And Brian.
All right. Hi, my name is Brian Cruppen, and I live in the Boston area, about a half hour north of Boston, in a town called Billerica. I've been a student of A Course in Miracles for about 17 years now, and I've been with the ministry. I've been with been with the ministry, I guess, for about 5 years now, and yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you, Brian. And now back to Ted, although everyone probably knows Ted, but you might just say a few words introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, those been around have heard me play. I've been at Sundays in Spirit. This is like number 51. So it's like, but I'm also part of the bereavement, the grief group. And I noticed that Dina's here and Tom's here. I didn't know if Megan's here or not, but we meet once a month and we're kind of expanding things over in the bereavement group. So welcome. Good to see you guys here. I've been part of the ministry year 1 in 21 and did my first Sundays with Spirit in February of 22 and jumped into the men's group. And then after Terrence left, you know, Brian and Rich and I, we just kind of kept it rolling. So, and I'm in Columbus, Ohio, born in Detroit, spent about 30 years in Toledo, Dean's hometown there. I love Ohio, love Toledo. Okay, I'm passing it back to Rich.
Yep, back to me. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your introductions. As you can see, we have a wide variety of people. We've got a lot of the country covered. I'm kind of impressed with that, how many parts of the country we have covered. It's kind of interesting. We always can work the time zones out, I guess. But anyhow, we appreciate you all being here. I want to thank Ted for his beautiful music, and thank Angela for hosting us, and thank Jennifer for starting the men's group, the men's movement, the men's group here quite some years ago. I'm going to say something about that briefly, but I want to say that, you know, we all have experience in groups. I mean, everybody's that's here, I'm sure, is in groups, if not anything else, at least the groups we're in here in the Power of Love Ministry. So we know a little bit about groups. And men, the question comes up, why men's groups? And men meet in groups in all kinds of situations, like they might meet at the coffee shop to talk politics. They might meet at the sports bar to talk sports. They might meet, you know, in AA or in other kinds of spiritual groups in churches and so forth. So men do meet together, but it doesn't seem to be the most common thing. So that's interesting to me. That the history of the men's group for me goes back to 1990 when I was living in Oklahoma City. And I was in a Methodist church there, a pretty good sized Methodist church. And there was an announcement posted that there was going to be someone to talk about the wound in men. And I thought, the wounded men, what is that deal? The wounded, what wounded men have? And, but I signed up and showed up, and there were probably like, I think 150 men showed up that day. And this fellow was a drummer, and he did Iron John, which if people know Robert Bly's book, Iron John. And at the end, he said, you know, I want to start men's groups here in Oklahoma. So many of those group people signed up. So that started the men's group movement in Oklahoma City. And I participated in a group there from 1990 for 15 years. So that group met every Monday night, and it was a small group, you know, like 10 or 12 guys. And it was very important and meaningful to me. So that's an experience, you know, of a group. Now here, somewhere, I don't know the date, Jennifer decided, well, we should open the possibility of a men's group here. So that happened. And as Ted pointed out, there was a fellow named Terrence. Terrence, I think, lived in the West Coast someplace, San Francisco maybe. And he led the group for a while, and some of us were in that group. And then it didn't work for him to lead, so he dropped out of that. And there was a sort of a vacancy there. And then Jennifer asked Ted and Brian and I to kind of start it again. So that's the history of our group here. And we meet, we've been meeting every other Wednesday, but we just decided recently that was not enough time together. So we meet every Wednesday evening. And it's been working out pretty well for us there. Let's see, where do I want to go here? I want to then say just a couple of the things about why men's groups, because I've been doing a lot of thinking about that. And I have a practice I started this last year that when I have a question like that, my wife, who's also on this call, always says to me, well, you've got someone that can answer it. And I say, is that you? And she'll say, no, that's Spirit. Ask Spirit. So I have this practice now of when I have an important question, I write that out for Spirit. And believe it or not, I'm sure everyone here will believe it, Spirit actually answers. So this is what happened that morning when I asked Spirit. I want to share this with you before we go on. So I say to Spirit, good morning, Spirit. Thanks for traveling with Karen and I on this Camino. Karen and I just finished our pilgrimage in Spain, and certainly Spirit was with us. Spirit says, my pleasure. So great when we walk together hand in hand. And I say to Spirit, so I'm looking for guidance on what to share in the Sundays with Spirit talk. And Spirit says, well, you could talk about me. Talk about how your awareness of me weaves in and out of your life. How when you are open, I am there. And when you are closed, I am still there. And I say, what is unique about men's group? And Spirit says, there really are no men versus women. The sense of masculinity is like a suit of clothing you have chosen to wear. And I say, so how does that help or hinder? And Spirit says, neither. It's just a suit of clothing to release. The perception that you are a male is your choice. What part of being male helps you be close to me and be close to love? And what part of being male puts a veil over me and blocks out the feeling and experience of love? Perhaps your group is a way to release what blocks your experience of love and what parts enhance the true experience of love, releasing and owning. And I say, thanks, Spirit. That's just what I needed to hear. And Spirit says, love you always and forever. So that was Spirit's answer about why we're into men's groups and so forth. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to each member to share some brief comments about their experience in the group, maybe how they got decided to join, what their intention is, what they get out of that. And so we're just going to go around the group again and let them have a chance to talk. So I'm going to start with Jorge. You got to unmute Jorge.
Okay, Jorge, yeah.
Sorry,
It's okay.
can you hear me? Okay. I started studying the course in the like around 1994. But anyway, I met Jennifer in 2014 when she held an event in Greece, in Andros, Greece, one of the Greek islands. Gary Renard and Maria Felipe were also there. And I also, in 2023, I did the Camino with Jennifer. A group of 23 of us went to the Camino. But anyway, during all this time that I've been studying the course, I've been in discussion groups, as I said, in Puerto Rico and in New York, where I used to live, with both men and women in the groups. And I never had any, as Rich was saying, there's nothing, nothing particular about a man being in a group. I never had any issues or differences between the men and the women. And my interest is to discuss the course with as many others as I possibly can, regardless of the gender. And currently I am in one virtual group, and all the members are women. I'm the only man. But anyway, the basic teaching of the course is that we are one with God eternally. Rich said that. There is no separation, there's only oneness. And some of the lessons that speak to that, and which I consider speak to the issue of men or women, is one lesson: I am as God created me. That's lesson 94. I am spirit. I am nothing, and Rich said that, spirit. That's lesson 97. The world I see holds nothing that I want. In other words, this world of separation and so many issues that we're going through. I am the Holy Son of God himself. That's lesson 191. I'm the Son of God, as we all are. I am not a body. I am free. In other words, my body is not masculine or feminine. I am not a body. Today I will judge nothing that occurs, which is lesson 243. And finally, the past is over, it can touch me not. And I mentioned that because I'm going to talk a little bit about the ego. So, I mean, it's not easy to accept everything, what the Course says. I mean, intellectually, I can get it, but being it, feeling it, living the way the Course says is a whole nother thing. But the world we live in teaches us separation. The moment I use the word I, As soon as I say I'm separating myself from everyone else. So the other thing I always think about is this world has 8.6 billion separate bodies in it, each with its own identity, each with its own beliefs, and so on and so forth. God didn't create 8.6 billion individuals. We're all one. So the ego is the source of my feeling of separation, because I am one with God, we're all one, etc. But I still have the feeling of separation. So, and the ego loves for me to feel separate. And according to it, I can be only what my past dictates. That's why I mentioned the lesson, the past is over. The ego is based on the past. The past does not exist. There's only one moment where I'm existing, and it is this very moment. So the ego does not want me to be in this moment. It only wants me to be distracted with the past. So finally, my own judgment, fear, and grievances, which this world brings up for me, don't do me any good. They do me absolutely no good. My grievance, my sadness, my anger, whatever, it doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do my spirit any good. They are irrelevant to my truth, my peace, and my holiness. Therefore, I strive to hold my oneness with God in my heart, whether I'm a man or a woman in this illusory world. Thank you. That's what I had to say.
Thank you, Jorge. Sorry, Rich, you are muted. If I can.
Okay. Thank you, Jorge. We're going to move on to Steve now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're muted, Steve.
Okay, you hear me now? Hello. You
Gotcha.
should be able to hear me. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Tipol. I'm down here in South Florida, and I'm happy to be with everyone today. I want to thank everyone on this nice Sunday, and to Jennifer and all her staff for welcoming us and putting this together for us. And I'd like to thank all her friends and all her staff, seen and unseen. And special thanks to all her friends, all her great friends who come to visit and give us classes and so forth. And we enjoy their words of wisdom in their regular classes. And I just want to say about the men's group, it's a powerful intention for us to be together, and we can talk about anything we want to, and it brings us closer together, brings us vision of different aspects of life, and that's one of the most important things. And today my talk wanted to be on removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. And when I first heard that, it's a terminology. They really mean blocks are not blocks. The blocks are in our head. They're not physical blocks. They're spiritual blocks, and we pay attention. We can cure that and help that. And the blocks are ego and judgmental based blocks. Are not like a heavy block or anything. It's a spiritual blocks in our head. Anyway, the blocks that we need to take care of are the blocks of ego, fear, hate, greed, jealousy, envy, and so forth, like that. And that's what brings me back to the spirit here, and a very powerful message for me. And I hope others enjoy that saying too in the course. I think we've all heard it before. And I'm a little bit under the weather today, but I just wanted to say thank you for having us and look forward to it happening again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We're gonna go on to Dean. Then thank you,
Okay.
Steve. Appreciate your words and your moving through your cold or whatever it is that to say.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move to Dean now.
Okay, hi. Well, like I said, I'm Dean Ashbacher out here in sunny Arizona, and love it here. I love being in the men's group. Kind of gonna answer, I think, Rich's question about why men's group, why groups at all. And I like groups because I get to talk a lot. I like small groups because it gives you opportunity to share and to listen to each other in a more intimate way, right? I've you know, been spiritual much of my adult life, and I seem to always put myself in small groups because I've always said it's where our spirituality meets the road, where the rubber meets the road. We get to share about our real lives and how we apply those Course in Miracles principles or whatever, you know, spiritual discipline you have. Um, as John Mundy said today, the Course in Miracles is just one form of the universal course, and you know, to bring us to love and something to. And as far as whether it's male or female, it really doesn't matter to me. I was a physical therapist for 40 years, and most therapists are women. And I can tell you that can be a nice thing to work with a lot of women. So no problem there, male or female. And also, it's interesting. I have a young, in her 20s daughter, and I'm not even sure about her sexuality. And one day I said, like Mandy, I says, you know, no matter what your orientation, it's okay with me, right? And she looked at me and was like, well, I would hope so. You know, like it was just a given. And I see how that really aligns with what we've been talking about, the oneness. There is no male, no, there is no, in reality, there isn't, okay? But we have that to contend with in this world. And maybe that's why men's group or AA or any special group, because we're met with these blocks to the awareness of love's presence, right? It may be because of alcohol, maybe because of our inherited idea of what it is to be a man or a woman. And are we going to limit ourselves by those concepts? Because they're just concepts. And as the Course says, we've all been poorly taught by the world. And so we're trying to learn the reality, you know, the reality of life, which is love. And love is the only thing that really exists. And that cannot be threatened. You know, we can hide it under our bushel basket, but it can't be threatened because that's the only thing that there really is. So I just enjoy being part of Jennifer's ministry. I'm in the Masterful Living year-long course, year one. And I came to it, I'm a holistic life coach. At least I'm trained to be one. I haven't done much of it, but and so I attended her. She had 16, she called it quantum counseling. Anyway, it was seasoned coaches, spiritual counselors. And I partook in that, and I saw that I had a lot in common with them. And and I love Jennifer. I want her intuition. I want the way she has her inner guide lead her life. And so that's why I'm a part of this ministry. And I'm so thankful to be so. And just one other thing, you know, I was thinking that how Jennifer's ministry is of the heart and of that inner guide. And I was thinking, you know, one of the maybe the differences in the masculine feminine is that the men bring the nuts and the bolts and how to get things done, but the women bring the heart. At least that's the, you know, kind of the traditional concept. I think we as men need to bring more heart to other men. My wife has been trying to get me to start a Course in Miracles group for men. I just never was inspired to do it, but here I find myself in. So the Spirit's working, right? I didn't have to make it happen. I didn't have to effort or do anything out of the ordinary to make it happen. It happened naturally out of my commitment to God, to Spirit, to love. So thank you. I very much appreciate your sacred listening. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean. Thank you for that. Beautifully said. Yeah, very nice. All right, so our last person to speak in this round is Brian.
Okay. Forgive me. I'm not generally great at this, speaking in any type of public or anything like that, but I'm gonna do my best. Um, I came to the men's group, and I was kind of, I like the idea of the men's group for, as a place for me anyway, and I think it's is a place to, potentially share and gather in a way that I know I've never been able to within my life. I was raised Catholic, if you will, but not necessarily spiritual. It was just more really doctrine or whatever that just really didn't. But when I look at it, I always had a deep yearning and asking within me that I never. And then, really, when I found A Course in Miracles, I guess you could say my life's never been the same. It spoke to me so deeply on so many different levels. And it was really like, it really, I guess you could say, answered every question I ever would have had about. Um, and I came, to a deep knowing through it, which really got rid of all, like, certainly all, irrational anxiety or any type of, deep depression or whatever that may have been there. But it also, as I've gone on, it really, I guess you could say, sometimes I really feel like stuck between two worlds, if you will. I kind of like one foot in reality and then one foot in the dream, if you will. And the foot that's in the dream really much of the time feels like it's in quicksand and can't really, move beyond it or whatever, if you will. Um, but for me, it's also a very personal journey. I very rarely share it. That's one of the things I love about the men's group, because it is a chance to, share in some of these different groups. Most of the, I guess I could say, individuals in my life really aren't into anything spiritual like this. And it's kind of, I guess you could say, really far out and weird to most people I know. So I kind of, and I've just never been kind of guided to talk about it much, but I always do my best to try and live it. And, I find that that in itself can be very helpful. And I guess you can say I've had many times where I've really felt the Holy Spirit working through me, probably in ways, probably healings occurring that I'd never understand, if you will. Just from being aligned, nothing to do with me individually, but just giving my mind over a will, or just accepting the Holy Spirit as the truth in my mind is, for me, I find where all the healing happens. Um, but again, for, like I was saying, for me, it's been a very personal journey. I think it is for everybody, and the course is no doubt my path. Even though I've dabbled in some other things here and there, but I've always come back to the course because it speaks to me deeper than anything. But there's no right or wrong way, and whatever I say, whatever calls to people is their path. And I guess that's it. I guess I'm complete. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Beautifully said. I know it's a challenge. You just did great. You just did great. So I appreciate everybody's sharing. The group is like that. It is a place where we can share what's going on with us and use the course principles to apply to it. I think in some ways men have developed different ways that they cover their fears, and they cover that, and the different ways they express their love. So I'm very appreciative that we have this opportunity to talk to each other and be candid and be accepted and be loved and cared for. And I'm glad for everybody's comments today. The group means a lot to me. So I want to turn it back to Ted. I think Ted's beautiful songwriting and playing and singing is a major expression of his love in the group and in the ministry, certainly. So I'm going to turn it back to him for another song.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Rich. When you talked about taking the time to be still enough to listen to the Spirit to give you an answer, that is what it's all about. I heard that from everyone, and understanding, and like Jorge was talking about, striving for the oneness, and Steve, you talked about, blocks to the awareness of love's presence. And Dean, you hit it on a couple things. And when you talked about, forming a men's group, getting involved in a men's group, and the Spirit just brought it to you. And we are all grateful that you're here. And Brian, you're my bro. And when Brian says he's trying to live it, Brian is trying to live it, and he's a valuable part of our group, because he does. He does follow the Spirit. It is his path. So I'm going to play a song for you that is exactly that. Listening to the Spirit, knowing we've all been given gifts. And so let's just do this. "40 years of writing, a singer without a band. My fingers hold a pencil, yet the good Lord, He moves my hand. I am ready and I'm able, Your will my command. So Lord, please help me see the way to share the gifts I have today, that they may glorify Your name. I'm just an instrument here for You to play. I'm just the instrument here for You to play. Lord, I hope it pleases You. I'll do all I can. Come, Holy Spirit, lead the way. So I'm gonna pack my suitcase, take my guitar from its stand, load up a small coach, and with the good book in my hand, step out where the sun is shining, turn my back on my fears so cold. Blessed with a good wife, take this gift on the road. So Lord, please help me see the way, share the gifts I have today, may they glorify Your name. I'm just an instrument here for You to play. I'm just an instrument here for You to play.
Wow.
Thanks for letting me share that. I wrote that a long time ago. Appreciate it. Pass it on back over to you, Rich. Or Angela, I don't know which.
I think, Rich, I'll unmute you, but are we at the questions portion, correct? You guys are complete? I just unmute Rich. Sorry, you're muted.
Yes, that's the place we are, and that's a wonderful schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to thank everyone for coming. Before we open it up, I'm going to open up my view here. I just want to, as a listener, I do want to do a brief, not a meditation, but really just a moment of gratitude. So just taking a moment to truly thank each of you who came to represent your group, and just giving thanks to hear from the men in our community, to see your beautiful hearts, your open, willing spirits, and just thanking you for stepping up today, for coming and presenting yourself and your journey. It means a lot to me. I think it means a lot to others. So I'm just gonna take a moment to send a heart. If you can hear and you felt the love, please send a heart to our men here today and thank them for stepping out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yay. Love first. That's what we're going for. Yeah, yeah. And I'll throw this in because, those of us in this community, we do recognize the, even in the oneness, yes, in the oneness, which you all spoke of, that this isn't about men finally getting a chance to talk and not be around so many women. I didn't hear any of that. It wasn't that. And and yeah, I have to say, I just heard this morning, I'm in a yoga teacher training, and the teacher was talking about how for many people, it seems on this journey, they live in the lower chakras. The lower chakras, like the first chakra being a chakra of survival and getting your needs met, and the second being about like creating and procreating, and then the third chakra being like the ego identification, and just the lower chakras being about getting what we need. And in this other realm, I learned, well, men's 3 Ps are like provide, protect, and procreate, so that the almost that the instinctual or biological function, especially of a man, would be those lower chakras. It is like that's kind of what, this is me just mixing some information here, but that you all represent those men who've gone on and moved up into the next chakra, which is the heart, the fourth one. And then you're moving up into your third eye, your intuitive area. And then we move into the crown, and we're moving toward the place of knowing our spirit. My teacher was talking about, like, when your awareness is in your crown, it's like there, you already moved way out of the human into the spirit. So for me, it's very healing to know all of you men who are living that journey, because those are not the men I see in my world per se, who live more in the lower, and that I wouldn't judge them, and I can love them all the same. But you're all demonstrating that you've taken this incarnation and you're working up in the uppers. You're actually using the whole system. So it's actually, for me, it's very healing and a very beautiful thing to have you here. I don't want to say it in a way that you're separate and different, but I do want to thank you for being the minority often, and then today being a mighty group before us and representing men, being a demonstration of an awakened man. How about we call it the Awakened Men's Group? But that's what I want to say. And so we are opening this up for comments, questions, feedback, anything. I started out with my own little speech, which I wasn't prepared, but I really wanted to share that. And so at this point, if you would like to say anything, you could put a comment in the chat. You could do a raised hand from the participant tab. You can find, or in the more section, just somewhere on your menu there, you can find a raised hand, or just go ahead and unmute. So anybody at all who would like to make a comment.
Angela, I just want to, if I can, this is Rich again. I just want to comment on what you said, because what you said is what Spirit told me in my dialogue with Spirit, which is about being a male or female is a suit of clothing that you wear, and they can either enhance your awareness of love or block it. And culture may teach us men one thing, women one thing, but it's the same thing, because it's how can I get out of my own way to experience the love. So I really appreciate it. This is what Spirit told me, and then you get it from somebody else who's given it to you, maybe in a slightly different language, but it's the same message. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. And if you didn't catch my talk last week, it was inspired by your writing with Spirit.
Oh, really?
Because it must have been that when we were together back in June for the art exhibit that you said you were using this new reading method, and Ted was here. That's what I shared, that I did that one day and I got this profound message that I'm still integrating. And so you're famous, Rich.
Yeah.
That you could start your own class on that one, just because even though it's a simple thing, you're doing it and you're demonstrating it, and it inspired me.
Takes willingness, and sometimes I'm willing and sometimes I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm married to a person that encourages me to be willing in a best possible way.
Great. I know. I do know. I do know that force that you get to live with. That beautiful force. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, Jennifer.
Cool. Hi, Angela. Nice to see you. And I just wanted to say I am so grateful for all of your comments, guys. Because I have been studying the course since 1996, and you all sound like you're talking the talk and walking the walk. And I just really appreciate your sharing. And I'm so grateful because it is something that's so, the course is so different from, like I can't talk about it with everyone. You know what I mean? I know everybody understands that, because it's so different from the way a lot of the people in the way a lot of the world works and lives. So, to be able to join groups like this, and hear you guys living it. I really try to live it too. I really, Brian, what you had to say was just, it was like, it's like, are you talking for me? It sounded exactly like how I feel. And yeah, I just wanted to say I'm so grateful, you guys. I haven't talked before in this Sundays with Spirit, but the course is the best gift that I've ever been given in my life. It has totally changed my experience in the world and how I perceive everyone in the world, and how I just want to see all my brothers and sisters as love and extend love. And I work at it. I work at it every day. So I just want to thank you guys so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jen. So good to hear from you.
I'm so glad I got to be here today, and I'm so grateful that we're all on the same level in this moment, and to have brothers and sisters melding into each other. The Course in Miracles has been such an opening of my mind and my heart, and each of us, and you all, each of you spoke of that. And the two words that come to me is how we are desiring to be in the present moment. We know that it's in the present moment where we connect with love and light. And so the word present, it means so much to me. And the big word is oneness. And someone, it might have been Brian, one of the, and if it isn't or isn't, please don't think of me as being rude, but I just want to say the oneness. I know that in this moment, as we come to thinking about being in the present in our lives and connecting with love and light and waiting for that oneness to be as natural as our breath. And each of you have spoken all of that. And the music, oh my goodness, when I say the music, Ted, that last one especially was a meditation. And I don't know if we can do this, Angela. I know we can do it, but it might be out of sorts and we can just let it go. But we've been alming in our little group, and it's just so lovely to and so I'm just throwing that out. Maybe you do that, try that in one of your groups, and I just wanted to bring that. And Rich, you can do that for leading alms. So anyway, I would just go on and on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin. And if you have a chance to bring your camera down a little, we weren't able to see the fullness of your sweetness, your sweet face.
Well, you're sweet. I'm trying to, but it's
Yeah,
not.
you did there you are, Robin. Now, I didn't want to interrupt you, but now we can see you fully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried earlier, it just wasn't
Oh,
working.
here we are now.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, anybody else like to share?
Well, people know me, know I always like to bring a little humor to things. So, Angela, you've blown my concept of a man's life. I've always thought it was stud, dud, and thud. No, I'm just joking. But this whole we're talking about oneness, and I've really realized, we get identified with certain ways of being, and so the movement of young people and now older people who felt the same way all along but were afraid to say so. They don't want to be identified by their sex. They don't want to be have that. I mean, obviously we have biological, with rare exceptions, we are one or the other, male or female in the body, but they don't want to be gender identified, is what they would call it. And I see how this actually coincides with this idea of oneness. So it's a good thing, even though it seems a little strange in its introduction into our already always listening. Yeah. So I had some other thoughts about that. I have lots of thoughts about a lot of things, but and so it's been said here that, okay, well, gee, and like Brian says a lot, like, I know I have this certainty, but it doesn't seem to be, it's hard to share, It's like you don't gather up the ball team and say, okay, now we're going to talk about about God, or love. And that's okay. But see, and I have two brothers, and well, I have many brothers and sisters, and we're differently abled, right? So I appreciate Ted's a great mechanic. in our men's group, one of the benefits I get is that he can advise me on mechanical issues with my car and my lawnmower, and that's great, you know? The thing is, it's owning our gifts. See, I appreciate my brothers, male brothers who may be. You were talking about the chakras, you know, and maybe they haven't evolved into the heart aspect of their chakras so much. It's there, obviously, and I think that's what we do by joining together here is we nurture each other's growth into and giving us courage to express our heartness or whatever wherever we're evolving to. But I think so. I honor that's a way we can honor everyone for where they're at because we're like you said we just happen to be incarnated and this is maybe the contract we had. This is our mission in this world, and it just owning that, you know, and not making anyone else wrong for where they're at. I think that's really the work, isn't it? To honor everyone just where they're at, and just not and not be well, for me it's self-consciousness, you know. I've I don't want to try to get anyone to do anything, you know, but um do I have the courage to share my heart, you know, the way I really feel? And so I appreciate being in groups such as this where I get that opportunity. Thank you.
I want to make one comment. It's been said about the course. The course is simple but not easy, you know, and I think that's probably true. Karen and I talked about the Camino is hard but simple, but so anyhow, my appreciation is to everyone to support each other through it because some of the principles of the course, if you've grown up in the illusion, as we all have, are really challenging. They're really hard. I'm not my body, for instance, you know. So I really appreciate these opportunities to be supportive of each other, and even when we have doubts and say, "Oh, that's a bunch of stuff," you know, that our comrades, our friends, our brothers, our sisters can say, "Well, let's give it a little more thought. Let's just see what Spirit has to say. Find some way to talk more directly with Spirit about it." So, anyhow, I think this group, our group that we're in, the men's group, in this larger group, and powerful of ministry gives us an opportunity to support each other. So I'm appreciative of that. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, well, thank you, everyone. How lovely to spend this time more intimately together. And thank you again for your comments and your contributions. We'll move on to just doing a few announcements for the ministry, and then Ted will give us one more meditation, as Robin said, and then we'll pray out. Maybe we'll even Robin. First time in Sundays with Spirit. Don't worry. I think we can do it. I know. So for announcements for the ministry, just letting everybody know what's going on, what's coming up. Jennifer, because I work behind the scenes, I am aware of additional details. And so the first program I'd like to highlight is Jennifer has been talking about for months. She's been feeling Spirit, you know, as Dean said, she has a strong intuition and she follows it. And we do our best as her team to bring things into action. But the first program I'm putting in the chat is it's the deep dive. It's her monthly deep dive workshop, which is entitled Healing Our Mother-Daughter Wounds. And this will be the precursor to a series of, I don't know the actual name, what we're going to call it, but it's Mother-Daughter Sister Program. So it's really just it's healing for mothers, daughters, sisters. And it could be a healing with your mother if you're a male, or again, we're in the oneness here, but Jennifer just has felt spirit tugging on her to offer such a program. And so that will be the deep dive this month coming up. And so just letting you know about that. We are in Masterful Living season already for 2026. So I can't believe it, but we're rounding the corner to another year. So Masterful Living 2026 is open. And if you sign up ahead of the deep dive for the month, you get that for free. That's kind of a bonus. So the deep dive being on November 15th, I believe. If you sign up for Masterful Living ahead of that, you can get in on the deep dive workshop as a bonus. So that's exciting. We're all working hard behind the scenes getting 2026 ready. And then we've got our monthly free forgiveness workshop that is next Sunday, the 16th. So I'm putting that link in the chat. And that's a significant day of, that's when my daughter was born. And that's when Rich's wife drove in a snowstorm for me. So anyway, just throwing that in that I have such beautiful community ties here. We're on the ground, living A Course in Miracles, helping each other out. So the last thing to place in the chat is just the opportunity to make a one-time or recurring donation to support Sundays with Spirit. And this just allows us to pay the staff all the admin that goes into pulling off a live event. So I'll put that in the chat as well. So those are the announcements for today. And then I bring forward Ted. You can bless us with one more of the greatest hits and then give any announcements you'd like. I mean, Ted always announces the men's group, so this is very exciting. I mean, you've had a beautiful commercial of the men's group today.
It is great. And also, Dina's here and Tom, and that is for the grief group. And it's more of a, we're taking a little deeper dive the first Monday of the month. And we are, kind of expanding. Yes, we are a comfort. If you have a loss, you can come. And we're there to comfort you. We're there to listen. We want to hear the story. But we also are introducing now, a little deeper study of the Course and, some quantum explanations to, how the Spirit we really are Spirit. So that's the announcement. Of course, the men's. If you got men, I'm doing a song before we do the prayer. Is if you remember Promise Keepers, decades ago, I was involved with Promise Keepers, and we would go to Woodfill stadiums, 20,000 men coming to into a stadium. And the topic was more of men stepping up. Most men, I'll tell you ladies, we know that you do function from the heart. And in our group, we're getting there. We're moving into the heart chakra, as Angela mentioned. But this is a song I wrote after standing in the gap at Promise Keepers. And I find it very easy if I get into like at the boat clubs or if I'm out even playing, I can play this in public and get a good response. But I don't want the ladies. I'm singing this song. I wrote this to sing to kind of entice the men. So here you go. The men of old found this land. They fought a war and took a stand. Freedom is what we seek, a free land of liberty where we can raise our families. Seek the Lord, live in peace, and it will grow. It will grow. It will grow. Good men will make it so. Have we all been made blind to the life these men had in mind? Are we victims of the silver screen, advertising in pride and greed as pockets are lined with gold? And they claim that's all that can be sold. I tell these men, you can fight greed, supply the things that we all need. Serve the soul, not just your hands. Take all you need, then feed the land so we can raise our families. Seek the Lord, live in peace, and it will grow. It will grow. It will grow. Good men will make it so. Now it's a shame to walk this land, see how it is out of hand. Our children no longer safe in schools where they're forbid to pray. I speak to you on Capitol Hill. You're not there to serve your will. A belief in God, it found this land. You're there to serve the working man so he can raise his family. Seek the Lord and live in peace, and it will grow. It will grow. It will grow. Good men will make it so. Good men will make it so. Good men will make it so. Now the trumpet calls to all good men. It's time we take a stand again. Stand in faith, hand in hand. Together we can reclaim this land so we can raise our families. Seek the Lord and live in peace, and it will grow. It will grow. It will grow. Good men will make it so. Good men will make it so. Good men will make it so. You heard it first. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
should you try this or, whatever comes through?
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking, Robin. Maybe
what-
we can do the prayer.
Yeah,
And then
sorry, I
what
brought
I'll
this up.
say, yeah, after the prayer,
Mhm.
I will invite anyone who would like to, well,
Explore, it's just a.
yeah, I'm planning on going for it.
All right.
Okay, so you just hold on your horses and I'm gonna say, now let go of your horses. Okay, great.
And it's all about harmony, and it doesn't, and in the beginnings, it's all blurb, but
Yeah.
really very quickly with whatever little group I've done it with, it's just, if we keep doing it very quickly, it comes and it's awesome. And I think this men group would just, Ted could take you through it. So I'm going to do this because I'm nervous actually. I'm like, what have I done? But here we go. We can do it together or separately, trying to make harmony. And here we go. And we're thinking 3 times. Oh, 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 oh.
You can unmute if you want to join in.
Oh, I am unmuted.
Not just you, but anyone else, if we want to hear them. Then we got 2 more.
All right,
Got
great.
2 more. That was a good warm up. Here you go. Keep going, girl.
Do you want to? Do you want to lead us? Because
You got it. Keep going.
Okay. Oh, 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 we'll do it one more time. Thank y'all. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Angela. It really is a wonderful thing to do with others.
It's sweet. Thank you so much, Robin. I think it's your it could be your life's work right now. So
Yeah.
girl, you bring in it everywhere you go.
Even to my family who did it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. All right. That was wonderful from the men. And I'm glad that I was here. And Brian, it's nice to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. So I will close this with a prayer. And so grateful to bring all this loving energy into the heart. So grateful to place my hands on my heart and feel the love in our community, our willingness to know our oneness, our willingness to embody our true essence, our spirit, our divinity in our day-to-day experience. So grateful to Rich and Brian and Jorge and Dean and Ted and Steve and all those who came to support this beautiful group. Grateful for the work they are doing, knowing that in the oneness, as they liberate themselves in any way, we are all benefiting. We again thank Jennifer for being the holder of the greater container for all of our small groups. Grateful for her willingness to gather us together, knowing the power of our joining. Again, we bless her. We bless the work she's doing right now with the spiritual counselors in training. We are grateful to be a part of this ministry, grateful that the Course in Miracles is a truth, a tool of truth that we all have at our disposal. We're grateful for the ways that it is calling us home, giving us the blueprint of arriving home in our own awareness to our true holiness and our wholeness. We are grateful to go forward and continue to be teachers of God, especially in the way that we see the wholeness and holiness in every brother and sister, no matter how they express, remembering that love is all there is. So everything is a demonstration of love or a call to know love. So we are grateful to be a part of this human experience, going forward to ask Holy Spirit what to do, what to say, where to go, knowing our true desire, our deepest heart's desires to be truly helpful to contribute to the awakening of all beings. So in deep gratitude, we receive the blessings and we go forward to share them from the overflow, from our hearts. We're letting the good be. We claim it as done. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep.
Thank
Feel
you,
free.
Angela.
Bye-bye.
Blessings.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Blessings to all.
Blessings. Bye for now.